All right. Welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to another Loners. Thank you all for tuning into these episodes and commenting, liking, subscribing, and also jumping over to our vlog channel. We've seen more interaction with our vlog channel. I don't know if it's coming from people from here or in general, but we appreciate it. This is episode 347. Okay. Today we're going to do a video called How ICE Spies on American Citizens. It's by some channel called Wired. I'll put the original in the description. Let's see.
These days, it seems like not an hour goes by without another brutal arrest by Immigration and Customs Enforcement. You've probably seen the aggressive tactics in videos online. While many people find these videos really disturbing, others question why this matters to them at all. If they're not here in the US illegally, do they really have to care? Isn't this just law enforcement in action? Today, we're going to be breaking down how ICE's expansion of power will impact everybody in the US.
Yeah, just a heads up, if you haven't heard about it, ICE is now getting a budget bigger than any military in the world, besides our own. Yeah.
And I think like China or something. But
They're
still.
bigger than China.
Really?
Yeah.
Sick.
Insane.
That's fucking crazy.
This is incognito mode.
Just for ICE to work against its own people. Like, that's insane. We're paying for them to basically treat us like terrorists, pretty much.
Social media monitoring is one of the big ways that the US government surveils a lot of people. In fact, if you're posting online, they're probably surveilling you right now. The State Department has expanded its use of social media surveillance to monitor anybody who wants to enter the US. But even if you're not a traveler here, you're probably being surveilled. The Independent reports that ICE is expanding its use of social media surveillance to search for anti-ICE sentiment. So if you're going to a protest or posting about ICE online in ways that they might not like, you're probably getting scooped up into a surveillance machine you might not even know exists. It's been reported that one social media surveillance tool used by government agencies, including ICE, is SocialNet, which can reportedly monitor up to 200 websites, social media platforms, and other online spaces. Some of these platforms include Facebook, Instagram, X, Blue Sky, TikTok, Reddit, PayPal, OnlyFans, Cash App, WhatsApp, Telegram, Discord, Chess.com for some reason. Pretty much anywhere you are online, SocialNet is probably watching. It's been reported that ICE's Homeland Security Investigations Division has directly contracted with Shadow Dragon, which makes SocialNet. The problem with social media surveillance is that, by its very nature, it's a massive dragnet operation. They're collecting data on basically everyone, especially anyone who's posting online all the time. This massive amount of data that's being collected doesn't just go away. All this data is likely being stored and can potentially be used at any point in the future to target you for anything. So right now, these tools are being used to target one kind of speech, but in the future, an administration could choose to use it to target something entirely different. A big problem with social media surveillance is that it can chill speech. You might not post about things online if you know that ICE agents or other law enforcement are flagging your speech just because you said a certain key.
I do notice on like Instagram or other social media, if you speak about specific things enough, they will kind of like flag your account.
Or, yeah, shadow ban you.
Yeah, it does happen.
Yeah.
Keyword or express a certain sentiment. That's going to dissuade people from exercising their First Amendment rights, going to protests, or speaking out against things they disagree with. One of the first ways you might think of ICE impacting you is surveillance. Facial recognition is one of the ways we know that ICE is targeting pretty much anybody they come across who they find suspicious. Immigration officials have long used facial recognition at the border, but now agents can use it right on their phones. Using an app called Mobile Fortify, they can just point their camera at you and run your face through a bunch of different databases that does identity verification on the fly. So why is this a problem? Well, first of all, Mobile Fortify, like other facial recognition systems, has a margin of error. That means it can bring up false positives, so the app might identify you as being...
I think there's a much higher number of false arrests that have happened, but I don't know if they're doing anything about it. I know that there's been higher numbers of people that are wrongly accused of being, undocumented or other things like that.
Well, the thing is they're taking action first and then like worrying about if it was correct or not later. So a lot of resources are being used on detaining people, even if they know they're probably not going to get deported, just wasting everyone's time. And it's who cares? Why not traumatize as many families as possible?
Yeah.
And spend as much money as possible just to like give off this illusion that they're deporting criminals, which is not happening.
I think most people have already recognized that that was kind of bullshit now.
Yeah, but it's fucking, I don't know. It's such a waste on every end.
Yeah,
and it's just scary. Like, why are you wasting people's fucking time, and you're wasting our money too doing this? Imagine putting that effort towards things that actually matter. Yeah. Can't be us, though.
Somebody
Not
who you're
America.
not. And maybe that person is a hardened criminal who's in the US illegally, and you might get detained. The other issue is what we call surveillance creep. This means that powerful surveillance tools are being used in more and more ways and is becoming normalized. It might be ICE agents using it today, but you can imagine a situation where a police officer is standing on a corner and just pointing his
Ew.
phone at everybody,
That's weird,
trying
man.
to catch a criminal. Now, you might think this kind of surveillance isn't a big deal, and you might think, hey, if cops are catching more criminals, that's great. The problem is that once a surveillance power is introduced, it's very rare that it gets taken away. While you might agree with the law enforcement actions of one administration, another administration might have totally different priorities and totally different targets. As we see in all types of situations, technology moves faster than laws. As of now, there's no federal law regulating the use of facial recognition by ICE or any other law
That's
enforcement
reassuring.
agency.
Yeah. I remember ever since the Snowden days.
I was literally about to say that. Right,
Yeah.
my face just saw Snowden's face.
Yeah.
And then you said his name. Yeah, I agree. I just feel like we're living in like an Orwell book.
It's getting there.
Oh,
If
we're
not
there.
already there, yeah.
ICE's use of data brokers is another form of digital surveillance. ICE isn't just buying data one-off. They also have contracts with data brokers like LexisNexis, which gives thousands of agents access to all types of data about anyone they're targeting. This means they know who you are, who you know, who your family members are, what your criminal history is, whether you own a boat or a car. All this information is readily available to ICE for anyone who they want to target. ICE is making use of something called the data broker loophole, which allows the agency to just buy data that they might otherwise have to obtain through
Jesus
a subpoena
Christ.
or a warrant. ICE has reportedly used the data broker loophole to get around Colorado's sanctuary cities laws, which prevent local police from sharing information with the agency. ICE was able to just buy data on targets rather than getting it through a process that
So
involved.
what's the
Sounds
point of
illegal.
what's the point of even having those sanctuary city laws in the first place if they can just do that?
What's the point of having amendments if you can't, or having a constitution if
Yeah.
it doesn't, what the fuck's the point of anything, honestly?
Yeah,
Everything is just
Judicial
talk
review.
at this point.
I agree.
ICE has a program known as 287G, which allows it to deputize local and state police to help in deportation actions. Under 287G, ICE has agreements with some 800 departments across 40 states, with dozens more pending. This is all part of the agency's efforts to rapidly increase enforcement actions.
We're not asking them to be immigration officers. We're asking them to help us. Cops working with the cops to keep New York safe.
Named Operation Tidal Wave, ICE's expansion of 287G means a massive amount of resources across the country are being devoted just towards issues of immigration and deportation. Even if you think immigration is the most pressing issue, getting local law enforcement involved can have consequences beyond what you might expect. First of all, local police need to have a relationship with their community so that people can trust them when they call to report a crime. If your family has mixed immigration status, or even if you just look a certain way, you may be more unlikely to call the police and report a crime, and that makes everybody less safe. Another issue is that local police have limited budgets. This inevitably means that resources are going to be diverted from other things like investigating thefts or murders
Yeah.
or child abductions.
Who needs
With
that?
resources from the federal government to your local police being diverted towards immigration issues, all types of other things are going to go ignored or underfunded.
It's true.
As ICE's power is expanding, it's sweeping up even more people into its crosshairs, not just immigrants. For example, in July 2025, Wired reported on a bulletin from the Department of Homeland Security, which oversees ICE. The memo characterized regular activities like riding a skateboard or a bicycle as running reconnaissance for protesters and indicative of potential violence. We've also seen ICE agents arrest U.S. citizens who were nearby while they were conducting raids and arrests. According to Wired
LA.
reporting, protesters are subject to all types of social media surveillance, with law enforcement building dossiers on them that can include their names, their affiliations, and the things they say online. This is a perfect example of how these tools can be turned against anyone an administration deems problematic.
That is crazy. Like, just supporting something that you don't agree with, it can really backfire on you down the line if they collect information on you and they want to utilize it against you. That's crazy, but Yeah, I don't know.
That's a fascist society.
Founded in 2003 in the wake of 9/11 under the task of increasing national security, ICE has since become one of the most dominant law enforcement agencies in the United States and is poised to reach its apex under the second Trump administration, which has promised mass deportations on a historic scale.
We're going to have a deportation level that we haven't seen in this country for a long time, since Dwight Eisenhower, actually.
Even though news of ICE arrests and detentions are happening all the time, it's about to get even bigger. Congress recently allocated some $170 billion towards immigration enforcement, making it more.
And while pulling away almost $1 trillion from the health insurance agency, or like our health system.
Yeah. And defunding a lot of educational programs too in schools.
Yeah.
Because fuck those kids, I guess, huh?
It's crazy.
Heavily funded than any other law enforcement agency in the United States, including the FBI and the DEA. While the Trump administration has framed ICE's actions as removing criminals from our communities, 65% of people targeted by ICE have no criminal convictions, and 93% have no violent convictions.
Imagine being a convicted felon, so stressed about deporting criminals.
Yeah.
What this looks like on the ground is masked, unidentified ICE agents storming into restaurants and other businesses and snatching people off the street, even if they've never been involved in any crime at all. Agents are even arresting people at courthouses when they show up for their immigration court appointments. Even green card holders have been targeted. So it's not just undocumented criminal immigrants who are being targeted. It's pretty much anybody who has a vulnerable immigration status. On paper, ICE's detention rate has soared to 140% of the capacity of detention centers. This has led to massive overcrowding, unsanitary conditions, lack of medical care, and other issues within detention centers. And it's only poised to get worse.
We are looking to set a goal of a minimum of 3,000 arrests for ICE every day, and President Trump is going to keep pushing to get that number up higher.
In June, ICE agents arrested an average of 1,200.
I think one of the biggest things that I hate about this whole situation is we're moving further and further away from just thinking like human beings and thinking of our fellow people as human beings. And I know that's been happening for a while, but like this really pushes that over the extent where like we just really we see these people as things. We see them as just disposable items.
Yeah, I agree.
And I hate that we're getting to that point. It just feels very wrong to get to that point. Like, these are human beings. They might not be documented citizens here, but they're still humans. They still deserve to be somewhere. Like, they shouldn't be treated like this.
I agree.
100 people a day. That's nearly twice as many as during the first 100 days of the second Trump administration. There's very little anyone can do to push back against ICE's enforcement actions, but some people are trying. Apps like IceBlock allow people to identify ICE agents, where they are, what they look like, and even what their vehicles are. But even that can come with consequences. The Trump administration has threatened the developer of IceBlock with prosecution, and people have criticized the app for endangering ICE agents. The Trump administration has also equated revealing ICE agents' identities as illegal doxing. We should just note that making an app like IceBlock or publishing an ICE agent's personal information is, according to legal experts, protected by the First Amendment. The disappearance of hundreds of thousands or even millions of people is going to change American life, regardless of your views on immigration. This can happen in small ways, from people you know suddenly vanishing, and big ways to having fewer people in the American economy and thus making it shrink. No matter who you are and no matter what you think about immigration or ICE's tactics or the second Trump administration, mass deportations are going to have an impact on your life. This has been Incognito Mode. Until next time.
It's true.
Yeah, at this point, I don't know how we're going to overthrow this fucking government. It's reaching a point, you know?
Yeah. I agree.
Someone said they should have mentioned Palantir. I agree. I really thought he was going to bring that up.
Yeah, because I think they have a huge budget contract with ICE.
They do.
Yeah.
And someone said, so basically watching this video might put us on a list. Honey, then watching the news would put you on a list too, because at this point, everyone's probably on one.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. Leave your comments below about like your opinions about what's going on, and Yeah, it's sad, man. I don't know. It just feels shitty that like it's becoming way more normal to just view other humans as items.
As deplorable, yeah.
Yeah. But all right, we'll see you on the next one, and like, comment, subscribe, and jump over to the vlog channel, guys.
Bye.